Hey, so in today's video, we're going to talk about red flags to look out for either while messaging on the dating apps or texting or on a first date. All right, so let's get started. One of the biggest red flags to look out for is a man who is always talking about himself, never asking you questions. And when he does ask a question, it becomes all about him and how he has had an experience, or he also knows someone, or whatever. It always ends up becoming about him. And what we do as women is we often talk over ourselves internally and override our own instinct of that not feeling good, that we shouldn't be so selfish, that we should, of course, show interest in someone else, that we should allow them to talk. And all of these stories come up in our head that we are being rude or mean when we don't want that in our lives. Well, actually, what the dynamic on a date should be like is the man asking you questions and you answering it from a feeling statements, from a feeling type of communication, like how you feel about your work, how you feel about this food, how you feel about something that you're talking about. I remember when I was on my first date with Jerry, I talked about how incredible I feel when I ski. We're both avid skiers, which was a really fun thing to talk about. But I didn't talk only about, oh, I've been to this mountain and this is what I do, and listing things, right? It's how I feel. And that is something that is really a turn on for a man, is hearing a woman connect to how she feels. So the dynamic on a date should never be a man talking about himself and always making everything that you're talking about him. Okay, that is a major red flag. And he really, naturally, a masculine man should be asking you questions so that you can express your feelings about those topics freely, and he can absorb them and enjoy them. That is the natural dynamic of a masculine and feminine dynamic on a date. So if you are doing all the talking, that's also a no-no. I have another video about that you can watch. If you're asking all the questions or he's only talking about himself, those are all things that make the dynamic yucky. And you might feel yucky inside, and it might make you feel like you don't like him, which would make sense. But it's actually not about him as much as it is about the dynamic that's being created by him talking too much, him not asking you questions, and every time that it does become about you, that he turns it around and makes it about him. Have you ever been on a date like that? I have been on so many. And you start getting really, really good, even on, when you're messaging back and forth, or even when you have your preliminary phone call. If you do that, you will start to get a sense of men like that, and you won't even start going on dates with them anymore. So, but as you go, now that you're aware of it, as you go, start becoming more and more aware, and maybe you'll be able to filter out those men a little bit sooner. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I release 2 new videos every week, and follow me on Instagram. The handle is @barbara.santon, and I will see you there. See you on the next video as well.